Good day everyone, trust your day is good. Today we continue from where we stopped, which is what trigonometric identities of solving limits. Okay, so if you have not watched the videos that I posted earlier, make sure you go and watch it, as it will help you to understand this one better. Okay, now don't forget to subscribe, comment, share to your fellow friends, like, and turn on the notification so that whenever I drop another video on other courses, you will be notified. Now let's go. Follow me as I solve for these questions. Now this is our first question. It states limit as t tends to 0 of tan 60 over what? Sine 2t. Okay, and I've already posted the trigonometric standard limit that we will be using, like standard limit that we'll be using when we are solving the question. If you have not watched the previous video, make sure you go and watch it before attempting this one, as it will really help you to understand all this. Okay, now let's go. Now how will you solve this? Okay, we have tan 60, we have sine 2t. What are we going to do? Okay, the limit as t tends to 0, right, of, I can say this tan to be what? Sine 60 over what? Cos 60 multiply by, right, 1 over sine 2t. Okay, now I've split it now because I'm allowed to split it according to the what? Properties of what? Limit. Okay, now since I have this thing, I should have something like, do you remember that whenever we have the limit, the standard limit of the limit as x tends to 0 over sine x over x will be equal to 1, right? Or if we have x over sine s, since it is tending to 0, we have 1. Do you understand? Okay, now what are we going to do? I can easily say that multiply, because I want to make this 60, because this one 60 represents x here, so it means I must have what? 60 at the what? Denominator of sine 60. And this one, if I want to make it a standard limit, I must have 2t at the top. Do you get what I'm saying? So what am I going to do? So let me rewrite this. The limit as t tends to 0 of sine 60 over cos 60 multiplied by 1 over sine 2t. Okay, I need 60 here and I need 2t here. I can easily say that the limit as t tends to 0, right, of sine 60 multiply by 6 over 6 multiply by t over t, right, multiply by this cos 60, 1 over cos 60, because I just bring it from here to here, it's the same thing, multiply by, right, 1 over sine 2t multiply by what? 2 over 2. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I can what? Make use of this t. I don't need to be saying multiply by t again, right? Okay, now let's continue. Now I can pack this 60 here, right? So it turns to the limit as t tends to 0 of 60 sine 60 over 60, this 60, because this one is just a normal manipulation. I already told you that you must know how to manipulate, because if I cancel this 6, it will still give me 1, so it doesn't have effect on the question. It's just to what, for what we want to get, we will need them. You understand? So multiply by 60 for this, it remains 60 at the top, multiply by 1 over cos 60 multiply by this 60 now, right? I don't need 6 because I already have 2 here, right? So t, I need this t and add it, multiply it with this 2, so I get 2t, right, over sine 2t. So you can see that I have a standard integral, like standard limit like this. So it means that I have 2 at the what? I have 2 at the what? Denominator, and I have 6 remaining at the numerator. Do you understand? Multiply by 6 over 2. Standard limit, the limit as t tends to 0 of this one will give us what? 1. For this one, if we substitute 0, cos 0 is what? 1. 1 divided by 1, 1. multiply by this one is also a standard limit. The limit as this tends to 0 of this one will also give us what? According to this, will also give us 1. Okay, now it remains 6 over 2. So it means that 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 6 over 2, which is what? 3. So that's the answer for the question. Just make sure that you know how to manipulate very well so that it will really help, especially for this trigonometric way of solving limits. Okay, now let's move on to the second question. This one is another question on its own. The limit as x tends to infinity of x plus sine x over x plus cos x. Okay, now how will we attempt this one? How will we try this one? Okay, now we have something like this. What are you going to do? Because some of you, I know that we just think of the L'Hopital's rule and we are not yet there. Okay, but don't let it be what don't get addicted to that rule, because it will what narrow the way of how what you think. It won't let you explore on other routes. Do you understand? On other ways to solve the limit. Okay, now what are we going to do here? First of all, I can say I should multiply both the numerator. That's what we call manipulation, and that's what we call your instinct of thinking. They want to test your knowledge. Okay, you can just say that the limit as x tends to infinity of 1 over x, right, multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 1 over x plus what? Sine x, all over 1 over x into x plus what? Cos x. Now you have this. What's the next step? You can just say that we have the limit as x tends towards infinity of 1 plus sine x over x, right, over 1 plus cos x over x. Do you get what I'm saying now? Okay, now you have this. So following the standard limit that we have, we see that if we go and check the previous video, this one will turn to 0 and 0. So you have, because you can spread the limit across according to the properties of limit, so you have 1 plus 0 over 1 plus 0, which is what? 1. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so that's that for this question. You see it is cheap, right? Now let's move on to another one entirely. Now we have this type of question again. Okay, so make sure that whenever you see a limit question, first think, oh yes, can I use a standard limit to solve? Can I factorize? Can I rationalize? Just think of any method on limit on how to solve. Don't first think that, don't just go straight to the L'Hopital's rule. Do you understand? First think, okay, what should I do? If I do this, will it work? Make sure you think. Do you understand? That's what mathematics is. You think, you use your critical thinking to solve problems. Do you understand? Okay, now this type of question, because I did not see anything to do so as to make this one a standard limit. Okay, but there is something. If you check very well, I can easily say that the limit as x tends to 0 of sine 3x over, I can factorize x out here, x into 5x squared minus 4. Good, right? Okay, now it still remains something. You can say that this one, I can easily make it a standard limit by what? Multiplying both the numerator and denominator by what? By 3, right? So it can be easily written as x tends to 0 of sine 3x over x into 5x squared minus 4. Everything multiplied by 3 over 3. You see? Good, right? Okay, now let's continue. And what can I do? Okay, I'm coming. Okay, now this is what we have. Okay, what should I do? Okay, I can easily say that limit as x tends to 0. You see the properties of limit, it will help you very much if you know what its property says. You understand? Okay, now I can bring this 3 here and also bring this 3 out of the limit, but I will just leave this 3. It doesn't have any effect on putting it either way. Okay, so I will easily say that sine 3x over, bring this 3 to x, right, multiply by 3 over 5x squared minus 4. Can you see now? Okay. 3 over what? 5x squared minus what? Minus 4. Okay. This one now, it resembles what? Standard. It resembles standard limit that says the limit as x tends to 0 of sine x over x is equal to what? 1. Someone will be wondering, this is x, this is 3, how is it the same? Since this one and this one is the same, it is also a standard limit. Do you understand? If you have 9 here and you have 9 here, it's also a standard limit. Okay, that's how the rules goes. Okay, now this one will tends to what? As x tends to 0, this one will what? Be equal to 1, right? So, and you can distribute the limit across each because it is multiplication. And the properties of limit allow us to distribute the limit across each what function. So we have as x tends to 0 of sine 3x over 3x. So I can distribute the limit across this one too of what? 3 over 5x squared minus 4. So this one will tends to 1 multiplied by 3 over 5 multiplied by 0, 0 minus 4. So our answer will be what? Minus 3 over 4. So that's our answer for this question too. Do you understand? So make sure you know how to manipulate. You use any method to solve until you get the final answer. Don't just rely on the optative because it is quite tricky sometimes. It can be tricky sometimes. So make sure you open your eyes very well. Remember those standard limits that you have. Apply the knowledge of them into the question you have, so you should be able to solve. Now let's move on to the next one now. This is another one. Let's take a look at this one too. Okay, now this one we still have to do some mathematical something here. We have to do some mathematical trick. Okay, now we have this one combined together by multiplication and this one by addition. Okay, what are we going to do? Because as I'm seeing it, I think we can't use standard limits to solve. Yes, we can use it. So we can just say that the limit as x tends to 0 of sine x cos 4x everything over, you can factorize this x, right? X open bracket 1 plus cos 5x. Good, right? Okay, we can continue. Okay, now we have this. We can still do something because I can make this one a standard limit and split this one and distribute the limit across because of our what? Properties of limit. So we have that the limit as x tends to 0 of sine x over x, right? Multiply by the limit as x tends to 0 of cos 4x, because this is it, divided by 1 plus cos 5x. Please, if you have not watched the previous video, go back to the channel. Make sure you watch them before attempting this one, because it will be like what are they teaching? Like it will look like nonsense to you, but if you go and watch the video, the limit from the part 1, you will understand what we are doing here. Okay, now we have distribute the limits. Now I can easily say that this one is 1 because it's a standard limit, right? And this one, okay, 1 multiplied by applying 0, that is tends to 0, substituting 0, I have that this one is because cos 0 will be what? 1 multiplied by 1 over 1 plus what? This one will also be 1. So we have what? 1 over 2. So that's the answer. You see, it's just what? A few steps, maybe like 2 steps, but you have to what? Open your eye very well. What can you do? Because this one, some people can take much time on this type of question and they will not know that it's just 2 steps to do, because it's just that they can't think to the extent of knowing that they have to factorize this x out because we have a common factor here. Do you understand? And this using your standard limit, and if you don't know the standard limit too, you can easily get stuck because you will be wondering how can you simplify this. So assuming this one is straightforward, right? Because cos 0 is 1 and cos 5x is also 1, because if you substitute 0 as x tends to 0, if you substitute 0, it will be equal to what? 1. So our answer is what? 1 over 2. Now let's move on to another question. This is another question. Okay, so since we are dealing with trigonometry, you should know that mostly we'll be dealing with what? Making use of our standard limit, right? Okay, I can easily split this one, and that's why I take you on trigonometric before. If you have not watched that trigonometric, to go back to the channel to understand that one too. So 6x squared, our cos is what? Cos over sine. So I have that cos what? 3x over what? Sine 3x. Everything multiplied by what? Our cosec 2x is equal to what? 1 over what? Sine 2x, right? How we now go about all this one? Because ah, this 6x, because there is no way, even if I get a value for this one, if I should multiply, if I should say this one tends to 0, it will easily turn to 0, right? Okay, but I can do something. I don't know if you see what I'm saying. Okay, let's think I'm coming. We have 6x. Okay, so I can easily say that the limit as x tends to 0, because this 6x squared can be easily be split as 2x multiplied by 3x. That's the trick. It means that your critical thinking is working, since you can easily note that you have 3x here and you have 2x, and you need them to what? To say, to do your what? Standard limit. So you understand what I'm saying now. So I can easily split this 6x squared by saying it is what? 2x multiplied by 3x, right? Everything multiplied by cos 3x over sine 3x, right? Multiply by 1 over sine 2x. So 2x can just come here, right? To make it a standard limit, and 3x can come up like this. Do you understand? So I have that the limit as x tends to 0, I can bring this cos 3x out, multiply by, bring this what? I'm just rearranging so that it will look at like a standard integral, standard limit rather, sorry. 3x, bring it the here, 3x over what? Sine 3x, multiply by 2x here too over sine 2x. Wow, see what we get. Okay, now this one is a standard limit, 3x 3x. This one is also a standard limit, 2x 2x, right? So this one, with as x tends to 0, we put down to 1 1, right? And this one, substituting 0 here too, because 0 is what? 1. So it means 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, so your final answer is also 1. It depends on how well you can think, so that you will easily solve it. It doesn't depend on it's just two steps. It depends on how well you can think, how you can see the question, the trick inside that question. You understand? Okay, now let's move on to another one. Okay, so we have the limit as theta tends to 0 of sine theta over theta plus tan theta. Oh, wow. Okay, what can we do here? I can easily say I should divide through by, okay, I'm coming. Let me do something. Let's do this. Limit as theta tends to 0 of sine theta, right, over, this one can easily be turned to sine theta over what? Cos theta. Okay, should I do that? No. Let me factorize. Okay, let me divide through by theta up and down. Let me rewrite this. So the limit as theta, we are using theta, tends to 0, right, of of divide both the numerator and denominator by theta. It won't change the what? The concept or the question, over 1 plus tan theta over theta. Now I can distribute the what? I can easily distribute the the limit into each of them. As this one tends to 0, it is 1. This one tends to 0, is this 1. So I have that 1 divided by 1 plus 1, which is 2. Because if I distribute limit across this one is 1, across this one too, it is 1 according to our standard limit. So I have the answer to be what? 1 over 2. Do you see? Just as simple as that. but it depends on how well you can sing. That's why I'm solving this kind of question, so that even if it will be slightly different, it will be slightly different, you will still assimilate. Okay, this is another question entirely. What do we have to do here? Okay, if I should do a direct substitution, 0 1 minus 1, if I substitute 0, we have 1 1 minus 1 0, so we have 0 over 0, which is uncalled for. Uncalled for. Now what did I have to do? I think I taught you rationalization, so it can still be applied here. So we have the limit as theta tends to 0 of cos theta minus 1 over 2 theta squared, everything multiplied by the conjugate, cos theta plus 1 over, alright, what, cos theta plus 1. Do you understand? Okay, by the word conjugate of this one, it doesn't change the concept, because this one can still cancel this one and you get your question back. Okay, now what do we have to do? We have the limit as theta tends to 0 of, this one can be expressed as cos theta, cos square theta minus 1, right, difference of 2 squared, over 2 theta squared into cos theta plus 1. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so we can still do something here too, because cos square theta minus 1, because according to our trigonometric identities, we have sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Bringing this one here, it means this one turns to what, minus sin square theta. So I can easily replace this one as the limit as theta tends to 0 of minus sin square theta over 2 theta squared, right, into cos theta plus what, 1. Oh my god, you can still do something, right, because this one wants to resemble standard limit, and I will make it to resemble it very much. So I can say that the limit as theta tends to 0 of minus sin squared theta over 2 theta squared, okay, dot 1 over cos theta plus 1. I did not do anything wrong, I just split the fraction, I split the multiplication. Okay, now I can bring minus 1 over 2 out, because 2 is at the denominator, minus 1 is at the numerator. So I have minus 1 over 2. The limit, if you go and check the what properties of the limit, you can bring out a constant, into theta tends to 0 of sine theta over theta all squared. Wow, do you understand? Sine theta is still the same thing as sine square theta over theta squared. Okay, now because is this the same thing as this one, so it depends on your what, 32, use your 32 number 6 or whatsoever they call it, multiply by the limit, you can spread the limit out, cos theta plus 1. Do you get it? Now this one resembles a standard limit, and if you are thinking that we do not have standard limit that says this one all squared, I can just put another sine theta over theta here and distribute the limit across. It's still the same thing, but I won't do that. So we have this one which is equal to 1 according to our standard limit. So we have minus 1 over 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1 divided by, as theta tends to 0, we have 0, cos 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 2. So we have the answer to be what, minus 1 over 4. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's it for this question too. Make sure you know how to solve, how to manipulate very well, and how to apply your standard limit when needed, and how to bring in trigonometric identity. That's why I've taught you that trigonometric identity first before arriving at the limit, because you will be using that trigonometric identity, you will be using it till the end of your course, even if you get to integration, differentiation, and something like that. Okay, now this is minus 1 over 4. So that's that for this question. Now let's move on to the last question for today. Now we have another question, question 8. Limit as x tends to pi over 4 of this. Hey, this one still requires you to think very well. Do you understand? It may not be a longer step, but even like even if I see this kind of question, like I want to do it straightforward as I'm doing it, like I will first think. Okay, and it can take me more than 30 minutes before to know what I want to do. Like it can be tricky sometimes, so you have to apply your instincts. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to apply your number six, like your brain and your knowledge, and pour it into it. Know how trigonometric identities work, know your standard limit, so you can easily. And there are sometimes that if you try this question, if you are trying to do it more, you will easily get adapted, that you will even know what you will arrive to when manipulating what you're going to get. You understand? Now let's continue. So this tan x can easily be simplified as sine x over cos x. So you have the limit as x tends to what, pi over 4 of 1 minus sine x over cos x, everything over sine x minus what, cos x, right? So we have this. Now I can find the LCM of this one by saying the limit as x tends to what, pi over 4 of 1, okay, cos x minus sine x, everything over cos x into sine x minus cos x. Some will be wondering how I do this one. Solve this one, finish, and then do your reciprocal something. You will arrive at what I get now. Okay. Now, after getting this, what are you going to do? Okay. This one, you can make it look like you can use one of the two, the either way you want. Let me use this one at the top to make it look like this. So I will easily say the limit as s tends to pi over 4 of minus cos x, okay, minus sine x rather, minus open bracket sine x minus what, cos x. If you open the bracket with negative, you get what we have here again, over cos x into sine x minus what, cos x. You get what I'm saying? So this one can easily cancel out, right? So we have the limit as s tends to pi over 4 of negative 1 over what, cos x. And they say our s tends to what, pi over 4, right? So if s tends to pi over 4, and you know this one is in radian, that's your 45 degree, right? So if it tends to pi over 4, so cos 45 is root 2 over 2, we have minus 1 over root 2 over 2, which is equal to what, minus 2 over what, root 2, and you can still rationalize again, you still arrive at the same thing. So this is how the question, this is how to solve this one. So this is it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification as more questions and more videos, more tutorial on limit will be dropped regularly until we reach the what, the part that we say we will reach. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.